We've had to revise our schedule tonight on UTV. We're bringing forward our special on Joey Dunlop, King of the Road. That's next. And it's followed by a look at the career of Giacomo Agostini. We'll bring you the 250 and Superbike races tomorrow night after our feature film.
The shy country boy at heart. Although a late recruit to racing, within a couple of years, in 1977, he'd won his first race here in the Isle of Man. The Jubilee Classic riding a 750 Yamaha, provided by his first sponsor, Johnny Ray.
Just you go hard from day one. Hang on a second.
So where did Dunlop get this rare talent to race at speeds of up to 180 miles per hour? A suicidal occupation? Maybe. Manager Davy Wood is convinced he's unique.
I think they broke the mold when they made Joey Dunlop. There's no question of that. Joey had nothing and got what he has got through pure talent, pure ability, pure hard work.
I remember everybody telling me that it was brilliant to watch, and I just couldn't believe this. And then whenever John Ray started sponsoring me and I got something decent to ride, I realised then that it was as good and better than most of the other riders I was riding against and what.
I used to enjoy riding at McGabry Airport, and he was leading a race and Campbell Gorman came from behind and knocked Joey off. I really felt sorry for for Joey at that particular time, you know.
Well, John made my career. I had nothing at all till it was after a meeting at Acadou, just once Acadou started. And John realised that I was going well, and he really enjoyed watching me, and he said he would help me. And once, the very first meeting I did for John, led the race for most of the race. Ray McCullough beat me in the last lap, and John spent anything I wanted after that.
I always thought Joey had it in him for the World Championship.
I was disappointed at leaving John, because it wasn't that long, and he was like a second father to me. But I got on with Honda, and John still helped me. Like, he did all my travel and all that sort of stuff. And been sure, I wasn't, what way would you put it, people taking a hand out of me. He was very good to me that way, and still is, actually.
Success? It always seemed easy for Joey at most courses throughout Europe. 5 Formula One world titles made him a household name. There's been 13 TT wins in the Isle of Man, one less than Mike Halewood. If Joey is something of a folk hero in the Isle of Man, so too is another legend, Jeff Duke. The 5 times TT winner finds it easy to explain Joey's remarkable success.
Sheer determination, I think. Obviously a lot of inbuilt riding ability. I mean, you don't develop a riding ability, you have to be born with it, really. And he obviously had this. But the sheer determination and very consistent line. Consistency is perhaps of prime importance over here, rather than being quick in one or two corners and not so quick in others. You know.
But looking back over the last 20 years, when we look at road racing, Joey must be one of...
And what I like about it is that he is a road racer, as distinct from racing on Grand Prix circuits, which these days, to my mind, are uninteresting.
One master heaping praise on another. Yet it's difficult to understand why Joey was rated a complete outsider in a recent article pinpointing TT stars over a 40-year period. That caused much debate among some former riders.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's first class on road racing, on road circuits. I don't think there's anybody better than Joey.
I don't consider, unlike a lot of Irish fans, and I might upset a few people, that Joey Dunlop is necessarily the best rider that the TT circuit's ever seen. What I would say, Jackie, is that of the riders competing here this year, Joey is most probably the best. But there have been other riders, and riders from Ireland, who have come on a par with Joey, and Tom Heron's one of those riders, in my opinion.
But for any man to say that someone who laps this place at 118, who can do it on a 600, a 750, a 1000cc, a 250, a 500, and not rate him in the top four ever, well, the man is not in touch with reality.
A natural road racer, success over short circuits didn't come easy. But Joey confounded his critics during a memorable day at Kirkeston 4 years ago. The sun certainly shone on number 3.
The two Hondas out in front. The Suzuki of Robert Dunlop in third position.
I think it's all going to be down to the braking at the end of the main straight. If Irwin's going to do it anyway, that's the place he's got to do it.
And there's a back marker there, David Griffith. They'll be coming up to lap him shortly, and there's another one in there. They could get in the way at the hairpin.
That's just what Joey doesn't need at this stage, I'll tell you.
Down to the hairpin then they come for the last time, and Joey certainly has wound it up there. He appears to have got away. Irwin is closing in, but Irwin's going straight on. He runs a little bit wide. In fact, they both run a little bit wide, and Robert Dunlop is through to second. Robert Dunlop is through to second. Up they come towards the line. At the line, number 3, Joey Dunlop gets the checkered flag. So heading down towards the chicane.
This corner's the most important one of the race now for Irwin. If he can just get out of it a wee bit quicker and get alongside Joey, he could just win it.
So now we go towards the hairpin for the last time. Dunlop checks. Irwin comes alongside, but remember, even the win for Irwin in this race won't give him overall victory. But it doesn't look as though he's going to do it. He's got up the outside. He'll then try and switch across to the inside of the run. He's run the outside, but is it going to be Irwin? Or is it going to be Dunlop? The park is on, and surely it must be Dunlop. Look at Irwin stakes. Up to the line they come. But the winner of the second leg and the winner of the Neil Robinson Trophy race overall, number 3, Joey Dunlop. A fantastic race.
A crash at Brands Hatch in 1989 was the darkest period of Joey's career. Helping his convalescence in Ballymoney Hospital was another patient, wife Linda, who'd just given birth to their 5th child, daughter Joanne.
I knew he was hurt, and he was hurt badly, and I didn't know what to really expect. Now, like, I never was hurt before, seriously, and it was so quick an accident, and so serious an accident. I thought that was all over. Like, I've been talking to a lot of people that saw the accident. Like, that wasn't my fault at all. Like, and once I got back and got going again, and got on my feet, got my wrist working, got out on the road back, I wanted to try and go out and do it again.
If they told you the crash had been your fault, what would you have done?
Oh, I haven't. To be finished. No, I wouldn't even have dreamt of going by it again. I'd broken my leg up at the top, but I had a lot of trouble with it. And they couldn't get it straight again, and they repinned it, and they repinned it, and they had to put it in traction for a long time. But the biggest problem, like, at the end, the doctors wasn't too happy with me with riding at the end, so they took it out for me.
And you don't mind keeping it and still looking at it?
No, I don't know. That's what I said, it's the hardest trophy I ever got.
So should you still be racing short circuits?
Well, I've probably never won one, put it that way. In short circuits, you're snapping the throttle. And you're using full throttle all the time in short circuits. Road races, half time, you're just going up through gears. You don't ram the bike at all. Like, I enjoy my racing. I don't go out to win races now like the way I used to do. Like, I go out to enjoy myself.
As you fought back from the injuries, how frustrating was it, having been a winner for such a long time, how frustrating was it to be finishing down the field and really just being one of the pack?
It annoyed me a little at the start whenever I went to the Ulster Grand Prix. I finished 20th in the Formula 1 race. I was really struggling, and I did a lot of short circuits and I was struggling to qualify and all that sort of stuff. But once I started getting going and started coming up through the field again, like they were putting me in the front row of the grids, like, and I couldn't even run alongside the bike. They had to pedal it, and that annoyed me, and other riders was complaining about me. But now that I come from the back again and I'm right up till like I deserve to be in the front row again, it's brilliant. Like.
Getting back to the top would be a long and difficult road. Joey desperately wanted to continue racing, but opinion was divided. After all, he was in his late 30s, at a time when other riders felt he should seriously consider retirement.
I remember Joey winning on the old 750 and stuff like that, and I mean, he's had a really good innings, a good run here for years, and actually today, the way I was beating the junior, I feel like Joey in a way. It must be hard for him, being the superstar that he was here, to now sort of struggle to be on the pace with the younger blokes coming up. I sort of half know how it feels. It's really annoying.
It's got to come to an end someday. All good things come to an end, and for Joe, he's been at the top for a long, long time. It is coming to an end, whether it's because of his injuries or his age. I mean, only he knows that. But I think myself personally, while Joey's still on top, I think he should retire now before he gets like some other riders who've just carried on for the love of the sport, and they look a bit silly, you know, trailing around at the back of the group, you know.
This business.
Friday, you had a couple of stone chips in the screen, so we put a new screen on.
The views of Norton manager Barry Simmons. Joey's former manager with Honda now looks after younger brother Robert, who's finding his own success.
I just try my best, and that's all I can do. Joey's been a great ambassador for the sport. I mean, if I do half as good as Joey has done, I'd be very happy with myself. He did it the hard way, and that's why I admire him so much. In them days, sponsorship was very hard to come by. There certainly is nothing left to prove in my eyes, anyway. Racing motorcycles is a funny game. It sort of gets a hold of you, and it's hard to give up. I know Joey would be quite happy to just do it for the sport again, the way he started off.
Adoration from Robert, but when it came to racing, as Joey he could still be a winner at the Ulster Grand Prix in 1990, on a day when it was Dunlop against Dunlop. We're ready for the start of the Formula 1 race, and Joey Dunlop gets a good one. So too did Trevor Nation on the Norton from the second row. Leadham's turn for the first time, and it's number 16, Robert Dunlop's Norton in front. Brother Joey is second, Steve Hislop is third. At Turnagraw, Robert is well clear. Joey is also riding very smoothly. Irwin's for the second time. The fans wave Robert through. Joey is still on his tail, but look at Stephen Cole taking Trevor Nation to go third. Turnagraw again, and it's still the Dunlop boys 1 and 2. Coming into the hairpin, it's Joey in front. Robert, thinks about the outside, but Joey holds the line and the lead. The brothers are providing superb entertainment. And if we can look at this again, it really is first-class road racing. Robert taking a peek down the outside, but Joey keeps his cool, keeps his composure, and stays in front. Leatham's turn again, and this time it's Robert who appears first. Joey is right there. The end of lap 9, and Robert is pulling in. No refueling problems though for Joey. He roars straight through. Plenty of activity in the Norton pit, but refueling has cost Robert precious time and the race surely. At the hairpin for the last time, and Joey is coasting it. He's on his way to his 14th win over the Dundrod circuit. He even has a look round. The finish, and Joey plus his thousands of fans Proved he's the number one again.
That was like one of my first race all over again. Like it was unbelievable. Like, especially I was so good a race. Like nobody never saw a race like that round and round before, especially with two brothers, like, and two different makes of bikes. Like it was brilliant.
A second in front of Robert, and Robert was 0.01 of a second in front of the next guy, who was 0.05 a second in front of the next guy.
Rivals may be, the brothers are part of a closely knit family. Did Father Willie ever think Joey would achieve so much?
No, never entered my dreams.
How do you feel about what he's achieved?
I'm very, very emotional about that.
I'm very proud.
Oh, very proud.
Rare day off at the TT, when Joey, wife Linda and their 5 children enjoy an afternoon sightseeing. The pace a bit slower, it's the bank special to Douglas. Despite the pressures of racing, he's still the family man.
Well, they look forward to it every year, and I look forward to it every year. And practice week, that's different, because I'm really busy in practice week. I'm up early in the mornings, I work hard at night, and I usually do most of my own work. And I ride in nearly all the classes, and I would get a wee bit tensed up in practice week. But once the practice week's over and the race week starts, then I like them there because I have days off, and like, it helps me to rewind a lot. Like, I was started my family like before I really started winning races, and it was something different from a lot of riders now. Like, they're starting to win races now whenever they're 18 and 19. And then once they get to 23 or 24 and starts to get married and that, then it hits them a bit. But I did it the other way. Like, I really never did anything until I was 24, 25. Like, and I had already been married, and Julie was born, and that. Like, it was completely opposite. And they were all for me then.
It's very cold, it's very wet in Douglas. So, what do you do when the racing's cancelled? The next best thing? Well, you can still see the man racing around the Isle of Man at very high speeds. The Railway Tavern in Ballymoney, where Joey is the owner, and at times he's there to play mine host. Not only to the locals, but fans who travel from far and wide to get a close-up and share a conversation with their idol.
I didn't actually get it for that reason, but that's how it worked out. The first time the pub came in really handy for me was whenever I got hurt. Like, I did nothing for almost 18 months, and the pub came in really handy then. It was more a business, and you get a lot of ones during the summer, bike people out for a run round, like, and especially a lot of the races, a lot of people come back to the pub. Before Christmas, you get a lot of people before Christmas, because they do most of the going out for a night will come here. Really enjoy it. Like, it's got to the stages now where I really enjoy it, and I like talking to people.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joey. Happy birthday to you. Sweet,
In the Isle of Man, the immortal Mike Halewood has a record 14 wins. Joey has 13. He could equal or better that this year. But is beating Mike something he and others would want?
I would like to see Joey win one more race and be equal with Mike Halewood, both with 14 wins, because in their own eras they were the outstanding riders. And I don't think Joey really would like to beat Mike Halewood's record because he's such a sportsman. Mike sadly couldn't come back at him. So one for Joey, 14 each for Halewood and Dunlop, and that would be perfection.
Mike Halewood can get in a 125. He can get on a 500 4-cylinder. Joey can jump on a 1000cc 4-cylinder. He can jump on a 125. He can jump on a 2-stroke. They both had that ability, that if it had 2 wheels and a set of handlebars, they could ride it. There are other riders who could only ride small bikes or could ride 4-strokes, but those two men could ride anything.
I counted it all out, but I had 18 if I'd used my head, because I ran out of petrol, which I shouldn't have done. I had flat wheels, I had broken steering dampers. I pulled down for fuel one lap when you're in the wrong lap, and I've been leading, and had the 18 of them really won if I'd used my head. But that's the TT.
Comparing Halewood and Joey, it's quite funny. There's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of total differences. Like, Joey's small, Mike was big bloke. The riding styles were different too, but off the track they were very much similar. They both enjoyed themselves well. They're both my type of bloke.
If I won one more TT, I wouldn't be going out at all to one another. I wouldn't want to go out and say I'm going to 1-2 to beat Halewood. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, I'm not a betting man, and when I lose my money in the Grand National every year, I'd have to take Mike.
Why would you take Mike?
I don't think he was the greatest rider ever.
I think there's been some great road racers like Mike Halewood and Tommy Robb and all sorts of people over the years, but in my mind Joey has been the best out of them all. He's definitely the king of the roads.
When you do eventually retire, how would you like people to remember you as a rider?
I really couldn't answer that, to tell you the truth. I never really wanted to be a superstar. I just wanted to be myself.